Welcome back to the VST channel. I have the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra running the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra 8 Gen 2 and the OPPO Find X7 Ultra also rocking the 8 Gen 3. Now, this is going to be a brutal performance test, guys, but to set the scene right, I need to do some settings and I'm going to do those settings with you. Let's start by first showing you the versions of the software. So I'm running the very latest softwares available for those phones, and you might know that the S20 Ultra already got the February update. I know that there is a February update for the S24 Ultra, but only limited to Korea right now, South Korea, so I don't have it. And this is the latest firmware I am running on my OPPO. The Galaxy S23 Ultra has 99% of a battery, S24 Ultra has 95%, and the OPPO Find X7 Ultra has 100%. All three phones are running the very highest resolution. It's the QHD Plus on the Samsung and also the highest resolution available for the OPPO, 120 Hz. Since I'm gonna test some mobile gaming, I want the camera cutout to be showed and not this ugly black bar. So I need to set this up on all these three phones. So on the S23 Ultra, I have the option to show the camera cutout. I'm gonna choose the very same on the S24 Ultra. And guys, I have a few more options on the OPPO, but to equalize everything, I'm gonna choose show front camera. All right, just a few more settings before we can start. I'm now inside the graphics driver settings in developers options. The reason for this is to change the default graphics driver to the system's graphic driver. I got this tip a while ago from somebody on Twitter and it really works. This maximizes the performance. So I'm using right now the system graphics driver for CarX on all these three phones. A few more settings to be done. I will enter the game booster on my Samsung Galaxy phones. I'll go to the left section and I will choose the alternate game performance. What is the reason for this? You might remember last year the game optimization service and the scandal around this. Now Samsung decided to implement the alternate game performance management, which uses an experimental game performance management system that may improve some game performance, and of course it might cause hitting. On the Samsung, there is no way to use a performance mode. We just have the standard, which is providing a balance between speed, battery and cooling, and of course the light. So standard is kind of the performance. But on my OPPO Find X7 Ultra, I have the high performance mode. So of course I am going to choose that one. All right, so turn on high performance mode and your device will perform its best. Of course, this might increase the power consumption and also, cause heating. Now, something very important, guys, I will use Wi-Fi during this test to try to eliminate the modem and the 5G connectivity and try to also give a chance for those phones to shine. And before I start the game, which is going to be CarX, I'm also going to initiate a video call between all these three phones with the front camera so that you can just see what is happening. Because at the same time, I'm using tacostats together with Shizuku to represent the CPU allocation, the CPU temperature, and also the frames per second. So I'm using the very same software on all of those three phones, right? Not the system software, to make sure that I have equalized the readings and of course the conditions. I am using Facebook Messenger to organize the video call. So far my tests show that really Facebook Messenger is putting a lot of strain on the phone. Also, very important, guys, I'm not using any effects from the front camera. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna exit to the home screen where we can see the video here, and I also want to take my first stamp reading. So S23 Ultra 26, nothing major. S24 Ultra 26, so it was circling the same. And the OPPO Find X7 Ultra, guys, already 30 degrees. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna launch the CarX and we're gonna play along and just see what kind of performance are we gonna get. So, buckle up and let's start. Remember, this phone had 99% of a battery, this one had 95%, and this one had 100%. And guys, also, I'm gonna make sure that the phones are not so close to each other to avoid heat going from one phone to the other phone. Let's enter the graphics setting and make sure that we are using the very highest settings, guys. So, as you can see, I have maxed everything on my S24 Ultra, maxed everything on my S23 Ultra. It's very important that we also use motion blur on the smoke intensity to high and FPS set to no limit. So I'm just gonna do the same here on the OPPO. I'm just gonna max everything, okay? And I am also gonna use no limits here. Now, we have equalized also the graphics settings. Now it's time to play a game. I'm gonna start with my S24 Ultra and just see how well it can do. Right now we can see CPU allocation 76%, the CPU temperature 51.2. Later, of course, I'm also going to use my temp gun to give you the temperature on the surface. The FPS now 30, 32, 34. So even not 60. You know, I've removed the limit, but this game is very high graphically intensive, guys. So this is what I'm getting on the S23 Ultra. I'm a bit disappointed, by the way, even drops below 30 FPS. Now let's see how much we're gonna get on the S23 Ultra. We have the same conditions in day, alright, it's just not the very same exact area, right? I would even say that the S23 Ultra has a tougher job just rendering a bit more on that landscape. And by the way, we have 50, wow, at this point it was like 56 FPS, guys, alright? So playing with the S23 Ultra for now will get me a bit more of that sweet 46 FPS, alright, 51 FPS. Now, guys, let's see what the OPPO can do, alright. Just by playing on the OPPO, I can tell that I already am feeling the heat on my fingertips. By the way, we can see it's 78 degrees, guys, is the CPU reading from Tacostat compared to 54 to 55 Celsius on both Samsung phones. And later on I'm also going to use my temp gun to give you a reading from the surface. By the way, the OPPO is also not able to be rock solid, right? 35 FPS, okay? Could it be that the S23 Ultra with the 8th Gen 2 is even able to get you more frames? And then of course we can very conveniently blame it on the game's developer. So even below 30 FPS, guys. Now let me give you the reading here. The OPPO Find X7 Ultra already to 43. Okay, 39 here. And on the S23 Ultra we have 41. Now let's try to resume playing on the S24 Ultra. Again, no 60 FPS, guys. It's not that the Gen 3 is just doing wonders. The S23 Ultra very strongly decided not to die, guys. See, I cannot say that the performance is worse, maybe even quite the contrary, right? The OPPO in terms of thermal management, guys, it's steadily over 70 Celsius. This is the internal reading, so of course outside you're gonna get something like 43, 44, which I think is just way more than on the Samsung. But remember, we have been using the high performance mode. I wanted to resume the gameplay on the S24 Ultra, and I think the S23 Ultra, guys, is already out of the game. It's absolutely not playable, guys. What is happening here? Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Oh my god. This is embarrassing. I think this phone just died on me, guys. At least the game is absolutely not playable, right? Now, what happens with my video chat? Is my video chat still there? It's there, okay. Let's see. I was able to enter the menu. Oh, okay. Yep. The phone is back in the game and now even doing a miracle with giving us something like 50 FPS. I'm not sure what has happened, but the S24 Ultra decided to just not die yet. I was really on the verge turning this phone on its screen, right? But then the S24 Ultra decided, hey, I'm not yet done. So 25, 29 FPS, guys, and let's just see 41 Celsius. And now it's time to do some night riding with my S23 Ultra, okay? So S23 Ultra, pretty similar performance, guys. We can see the CPU in terms of allocation and in terms of temperature and also FPS is very similar to the S24 Ultra. Let's try to measure the S23 Ultra. S23 Ultra 42 Celsius. Now on the OPPO, guys. Oh, Gen 3, what is happening with you? What is happening with you, Gen 3? This is a disaster, guys. I think that the same thing that has happened to my S24 Ultra now also happened to the OPPO. The S24 Ultra was able to recover, but will the OPPO be able to recover? The more we try, the more we're gonna know. But right now what we can see is really horrible. 43, okay, almost 44. Now, back on the S24 Ultra. S24 Ultra was able to recover from the previous incident that we also observed on the OPPO Find X7 Ultra. But again, guys, don't expect miracles. it is what it is. It is, yeah, 20 FPS, okay? Imagine if I would have been now on 5G, I can tell you this is gonna be a completely different picture, but I wanted to just give the phones more chance to survive. Let's try to do a temp reading here, guys. 41.7 on the S24 Ultra. And now let's play the game on the S23 Ultra. I can tell you, if you have the S23 Ultra, well, stick to it, guys. This is really a very good phone. It's still a very good phone in the year 2024. 42. Let's just see if the OPPO was able to recover, guys. I would say that the OPPO has the least challenging scene to play, because see, not so much lightning, right? And still the OPPO is not able to give me 20 FPS. So I'm just disappointed with this, right? And right now I'm only getting 15 FPS. When I am inside the Facebook Messenger video chat, we can see 17, 15 FPS, 15 FPS, 15 FPS, okay? Let's now go back and see, maybe the OPPO will recover. Oh, yep. Do we have a miracle, guys? We probably have, right? Because the OPPO is now finally able to give me more than 20 FPS. So it could be a software glitch whatsoever. Okay, let me just drive around a bit. Yep, not bad, guys. I'm now outside riding with some other cars because the OPPO wasn't doing the heavy lifting that the S23 or S24 Ultra was doing. So right now I would say I'm just at the very same or very similar location, and the OPPO Find 7 Ultra is able to give me, yeah, also sometimes more than 30 FPS, which is really great. So it was probably just a software glitch. 43.6. Now, back on the S24 Ultra, almost 40 FPS. Of course, less lightning here, so this kind of explains the differences. I guess that's understood. Let's check. 42.4. Wow, almost as the OPPO. And now back on the S23 Ultra, guys. The S23 Ultra is doing the toughest heavy lifting right now, guys. See a lot of lights, so I would say this scenario is a bit more complex, so it's not 100% fair. I can tell you, the S23 Ultra with the Gen 2 with this scenario, that is even, I think, a bit more complex compared to what we have on the S24 Ultra and the OPPO. I do believe the S23 Ultra is doing a phenomenal work. Let's just see how much we have here. 43, wow, 43.5, guys. You know how it goes. The moment we reach 44, it might be game over. This is it. It's happening again, guys. This is happening again. So the moment I am not playing with the OPPO, right, I believe something happens, and yeah, just embarrassing. And this also happens on the S24 Ultra, or at least happened once. So you have to go inside some other applications, inside the recent menu, go back. What we see here is not great. 42, this is absolutely not explainable, guys. You know what, let me just try to do the same. So I'm gonna go inside my video chat, I'm gonna go outside. Okay, here's my video chat. I'm gonna go back inside the game, so maybe software bug or something like that. No. Yeah, I think this is it for the OPPO, guys. It's now not able to even give me something more than 10 FPS. I have to say this, guys, the scene here is not so complex as the scene on the S23 Ultra. It has less lightning, so it's clearly, of course, one of the reasons. But so far, so good. So I think after some initial problems, the S24 Ultra was able to stabilize and give us something like 50 FPS. 42 Celsius, okay. Now back on the S23 Ultra, 23, 25 even, right now 19. So it is better compared to what we see on the OPPO. Let's try to measure it. Woo, 43 Celsius, guys. Now, back on the OPPO. Is this the end game for the OPPO? I believe yes, guys. Not able to do more than 10 FPS with a Facebook video chat between all these three phones. And the saddest part is, guys, that it's even not working on the highest step. But if I have to measure it, guys, I would say, let's see. All right, 44. Okay, 44 is still a lot, right? But I guess at this point, the OPPO just decided to throttle, guys. It's a game over for the OPPO. So right now we have the S24 Ultra clearly doing a very nice job. Of course, again, I have to mention this. We don't have the very same conditions. Here the scene is not so much illuminated, right? So if we have to compare this not so well lit scene with the scene below, I would say that the S24 Ultra and the S23 Ultra are both winners in this scenario. And now we can continue all day long with the S23 Ultra and with the S24 Ultra, guys. And by the way, I think just now the S23 Ultra has the first crisis, but was able to very quickly to bounce back. And see, guys, this is really outstanding. Like, the A Gen 2 is really a true legend. So the more I test the A Gen 3 chips, guys, versus the A Gen 2, I'm really thinking, hey, A Gen 2 was and is still a legendary chip. The A Gen 2, being used for 13 months, still is able to give and deliver a flagship performance. And at the end of the day, the S23 Ultra only had one crisis, but was able to recover so quickly. So I'm really inclined to give the win to the S23 Ultra, just for staying so strong and for being able to recover so quickly. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. You see, right? Oh my God! Oh my God! Multi-window close, your phone is too hot. So definitely S23 Ultra, guys, is the winner. I was just so close from finishing the test and naming the S23 Ultra the winner because of how it handled the crisis. And then my S24 Ultra died on me. 42.9. Let's just see here, guys. 43.3. So I'm not sure. Samsung told us that they implemented a larger cooling vapor chamber and A Gen 3, but yeah, multi-window close, your phone is too hot. Multi-window close, so my video chat is gone from the S24 Ultra. Alright, so I will have to re-evaluate, and right now I am announcing the S23 Ultra to be the winner. Why? Well, let me show you guys. I'm still able to get a higher frame rate, right, while playing on my S23 Ultra. So second place is gonna be for the OPPO Find X7 Ultra, because although with this very low frame rate, at least it didn't crash on me. Sadly, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra with this larger vapor chamber and whatever other optimizations, well, something is still to be optimized because it died on me. So first place S23 Ultra, second place the OPPO Find X7 Ultra, and sadly the third place goes to the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, guys, and if you like videos like this, you know what to do. Thank you so much for the sub. VST over, and bye.